Darren the Magic Ghostbuster here with my thoughts on the new HasLab Ecto 1. Yes, you really needed another video on someone giving their opinions on this, didn't you? Before I get into it, be sure to like and subscribe. So this really was... I mean, it was pretty obvious it was going to be an Ecto 1 from that very first tease where it had a picture of the tyre and it said, come along for the ride. I mean, what else could it have been? I know there was a lot of people saying it was slime blowers and all sorts. The clue was right there. And then, of course, they added other clues along the way. And I did a video a couple of months back and pretty much guessed what most of it was going to be. I even actually guessed that it was going to be a... You know, you'd be able to change it between the different Ectos, and what gave me that idea was a Star Wars Cantina where they had a basic and a deluxe one. The thing I got wrong is I thought the ghosts were going to be stretch goals, and they're not. They're right there. The only, I'm not even sure if it really counts as a stretch goal as such. It's more of an early bird goal. Is that the way you describe it? I don't know. Is the Lewis Tully figure, which has to meet its 12,000 back-ins within the first 2 weeks to get Tully. Looking at it at the moment, so I think last time I checked it was on about 5,600. What are we, 2 or 3 days in now? Obviously it's going to slow up. I think it's going to meet its target. I don't think we're going to do it in 2 weeks. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe we'll get close. I don't know. I wonder if we don't get there, if Hasbro would extend that by a week or so to try and encourage it to reach its goal. If it does reach its goal, I do wonder if they would consider adding another stretch goal. I don't know. But what do I think of it, really? I guess, first up, the old HasLab thing, and there's a controversial thing amongst fans. I've done videos on my thoughts on this in the past. I'm just going to go over them very, very quickly. Right, so I have two opinions. One, a company like Hasbro that's worth billions of pounds should not be crowdfunding. That is something for smaller businesses. You know, if someone like me wanted to produce an action figure and I don't have the money, so, you know, that's the point of crowdfunding to me. Hasbro do not need that money. What I do like about it is that if Hasbro had said, right, we're making 5,000 of these Ecto 1s and, you know, shoved them out on, you know, retail sites, they'd all get scooped up and go off to scalpers. Whereas, at least with the crowdfunding, they will make as many as needed. Every single person gets the same chance to get it, basically, and that's what I do like about it. Now, I know, obviously, some people are going to buy these things. It's happened with the Proton pack, it happened with the 2 in the box, where people do buy extras to sell, but I don't consider that scalping because they haven't taken that opportunity away from someone to get it at retail. Everyone had that same chance. So that's the way I see it, basically. So I kind of have a love-hate thing with it. But it's due to ship... I think it said by the end of 2025, which means there'll be loads of people panicking in May saying, where is it? As again, we've had with the 2 in the box. But so look at the base model first. It's the Ecto 1. You've got the Library Ghost, which is nice to see a figure of the Library Ghost in her non-scary version. We've not had an official one of that before. I do vaguely remember a prototype floating around of one for Matty Collector. Unless I'm misremembering, so I think it was planned, but never got released. And then the Slimer, I think the Slimer is a great figure. I think that's one of the best looking Slimer figures I've seen, certainly. I think that's a great figure. My only real complaint about the Ghosts is, why are they not just released as figures? You know, I find it ridiculous that the Plasma Series range did not have enough Ghosts in it. If you line up all the Plasma Series figures together, now whether they're in the box or not in the box, it's very plain looking collection. There's no bright ghosts, and you know, how can you have a Ghostbusters figure line without Slimer? Find that ridiculous. And then of course you had the Afterlife ones, which should have had a Muncher in it, and I'll just find that ridiculous. The only way anyone can get the Slimer figure is to now buy a £325 Ecto 1, so I think that's a little ridiculous. Now, I don't know if they've actually said these are exclusive or not, but I imagine they are. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's Hasbro. They like to reuse stuff, so, you know, they could probably just do a slightly different sculpt and release some, but I don't think they will. I think one of the problems with this whole Plasma Series thing, there's been a lot of chat online, obviously, about it. You know, people either love it or hate it. Is they haven't really done much with the Plasma Series for quite a long time now. You know, it's a dead line, almost. They did nothing for Frozen Empire. And I would have thought they would have at least re-released the mini-puffed figures. Even though they're not obviously to scale with the car and all the other figures, I would have thought they would at least release them. But no, so I wonder if some people have just moved on there and all that. But anyway, as I was saying, so I'm getting sidetracked. you look at the collection, it's very plain. So, yeah, I think these should have been figures that were released and not with a car. But at least they're giving them to us in some form. The car, it looks exactly like you'd expect. There's a couple of things that look slightly off to me. Every time I look at the back just looks a little too slanted to me. I don't know if it's just my eyes, but that looks a little bit slanted. I've seen people moaning about some of the paint apps and stuff, but I think we have to remind ourselves these are early prototypes, so I'm sure some of those things will be improved. The lights, I think the lights look really good. So they've said like the way they've got LEDs in them, so you know, a lot of toys will just have flashing lights, whereas these actually sort of simulate the rotating thing. And I think the good thing about it being LEDs and the way they've done it is that you're not going to get that really horrible noise. Like if you've got the Blitzway or watched, you know, my video on the Blitzway, you'll know that the rotating thing is a horrible noise, an absolutely horrible noise. So should get away with that. But other than that, the car looks great generally. Is it too much money? It is probably a little bit overpriced, if I'm honest. I'm going to get one. I just haven't decided what version I'm going to go for, if I'm going to get two. So I haven't backed it yet, but I do plan to. I just need to decide what I'm doing and work out my money. I think if you're going to back one, the next one I'm going to talk about is the one to get, because it's an extra £75 and you get so much more. So this is the deluxe version, and it includes the roof rack and the extra decals to make it the Ecto 1A. Plus you get the 4 figures in there. The GB2 We're Back charcoal grey costumes, which are good. Looking at them, they look a little... There's something about them, I'm not sure what it is, just doesn't look quite right to my eye. Again, they are prototypes, so maybe it's that. One of the things I know a lot of people have been concerned about is how removable and reapplicable are the decals. Because, you know, you might want... One week you might fancy it as the Ecto 1A, the next week you might fancy it as the Ecto 1. So apparently you can remove them and put them back, but that's not something that's going to last forever. Now, I don't know how many times you'd be able to do that. Might last 10 times, might only last a few, I don't know. I kind of feel like they should give you lots of extra sheets of these, so, you know, you can change it over a lot of times, which they might decide to do. I've seen some people suggest magnets. Obviously, it's not a die-cast car. It's never going to be a die-cast car if you were hoping it was. You know, it is a toy at the end of the day. They could put some magnets, you know, behind the parts where the stickers would go, but I just think magnets would look too thick. I don't think that would look right, personally. So I think they should give you like tons of sheets of these decals or stickers, if you want to call them. That's just my opinion. There will be some clever fans out there who will make reproductions of them, no doubt, but it shouldn't be up to the fans. I can actually see a lot of people emailing Hasbro once it's in hand going, oh, my stickers were not included, to get extra stickers. So maybe they should just give you loads of stickers to stop that happening. The Ecto 1A, it's good to see the Ecto 1A getting love, because there hasn't really been a lot of versions of the Ecto 1A. We had a Playmobil, we had a Hot Wheels, and then lots of those little Johnny Lightnings, and we did have a little Hot Wheels one, come in a 2-pack, if I remember right. But, you know, most of the time it's an Ecto 1, so it's good to see the Ecto 1A getting love. The lights on it look fantastic. I think look great. It's good to see all the tiny little accessories you get with it. The one thing I would like to see improved upon, again, it is an early prototype, so, you know, I'm not saying they won't do this, is the LED signs. Is they've got lights behind them, and then they're doing different things that slide in. I can't think of the wording. But the way the light shines through them, I don't think it looks great at the moment. I think they need to make it so the black part on those bits that slide in is much darker, so the light can't get through that part, but it can get through the, you know, the green and the red lettering to make that look a lot nicer. But again, prototype, so hopefully that's something they will sort. Yeah, so overall I think they look good. Again, it is probably a little bit overpriced. I suppose they're probably hoping that a lot of people buy 2. I done a poll on my page and I think only a couple of people, I can't remember the percentages now without checking, but I think only a couple of people had put that they were going to get 2. Most people were going to get the Deluxe. No one said they're going to get the base model. And I think, again, if you're going to get 1, it just seems silly not to get the Deluxe version for the extra 75 quid. You get so much more. You get the extra 4 figures, you get the roof rack, and so on. I was thinking, if you are going to get 2, does it make sense to get 2 Deluxe ones? Because those 4 figures, I think you'd easily be able to sell the extra 4 figures you end up with. And then, of course, whichever way you do it, you're going to end up with an extra Slimer and Library Ghost, which, again, you could sell. There might be someone out there who did buy the base model, regrets it, wants to buy the 1A roof rack, you know, or maybe, you know, if you're clever enough, you could 3D print a car and stick that roof rack on, perhaps. I don't know. And then, of course, you'd end up with an extra Tully figure if it reaches that point. I hope it does, because I think the likeness on the Tully figure is really good. I think it's better than the 4 Ghostbusters themselves. I think that's really good. So it would be nice to see that. I'm just not convinced it's going to meet the early bird thing, but I'd love to be proven wrong. So yes, I am getting 1. I just haven't decided if I'm getting 1 or 2. If I get 1, it will definitely be the Deluxe. If I get 2, I'm not going to get 2 Deluxe. I will get 1 base and 1 Deluxe, because I can't bother reselling and all that sort of stuff. It's not me, really. But yeah, let me know your opinions on it. Obviously, people are going to have lots of different opinions. Some people are going to say it's the best thing ever. Some people are going to say it's the most rubbish thing ever. Some people are going to say it's a bargain. I must admit, I thought it was going to be more money. I don't know if you remember the test page that I found and broke the news on that. And it showed, what was the prices on that? I think the base model it was shown as $550 and the Deluxe version as $800. And then Hasbro actually ended up responding to that, saying it isn't going to be those prices. And of course, at that point, we didn't know, although obviously we had pretty much guessed it was an Ecto 1, we didn't know 100% it was an Ecto 1. But I wonder if they had originally planned to charge that much. Saw the backlash, people were going, oh, well, I'm out. You know, a lot of people were saying that when they saw it was going to be an £800 product. And I wonder if Hasbro were like, oh, no, maybe we better reduce the price on this. Don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone would have paid £800 for it. I think that would have been a ridiculous price. I think it would have been nicer if they'd done some sort of 2-pack with both in for a little bit less. Because, I mean, £725 if you get the base and the Deluxe, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And that obviously isn't including postage. And I think one of the things that annoys me about all these HasLabs, or Ghostbusters HasLabs, obviously not every HasLab, they've always, you know, ended back in and then your money coming out sort of, was it beginning or mid-December? And obviously, you know, that's Christmas time, you know, people are buying presents, are going out more, and then you're expected to spend, even if you only go with the base model, £325 can be a lot of money for people, especially that time of year. And I just wish they would, you know, maybe run these things, you know, start the back in January and end it in March or something, or just run the back in for longer, you know, start it now, but maybe say we'll run up till, you know, middle of Feb or something. Yeah, so that's one of the things that annoys me about it mostly. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, people have wanted a 6-inch scale Ecto 1 for a long time. I mean, obviously, Matty Collector tried it back in the day, although that failed for many, many reasons. Mostly Matty Collector being just absolutely useless. But, you know, and people wanted it for the Diamond Select figures, and now people want it for this. So I think it would get backed, definitely. But anyway, let me know what you think, if you're going to get it, if you're not. Again, people are going to have different opinions on this. I've seen a lot of really childish, pathetic behaviour on Ghostbusters groups. Don't deal, none of that on this video. I don't deal with idiots. You know, everyone's entitled to a different opinion. Just don't be a dick about it, basically. I saw one person saying they hope it doesn't get backed. And it's like, well, that just makes you an asshole, because like, you don't like it, so why should you hope it doesn't get backed for the 12,000 who want it? You know, I just don't know. Too many idiots in this community lately, and I just don't have time for all that. So keep things positive, let me know your opinions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep on busting.
Want to give a big shout out to the Magic Ghostbuster. Hey Darren, very, very impressive.